Hello my friends and welcome back to our blind let's play Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. My name is the FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and today we continue on with case number 2, the magical turnabout. Want to say first before we begin, apologies for not uploading as of late. Life has been, well, like life can be, and I'm hoping to get back to normal. The rest of this week is very chaotic, but after Friday/Saturday, things will get back to normal, so I'm looking forward to that. But with that said, I don't want to waste any more time. I don't have a lot of time tonight. I'm starting this recording super late. Let's jump into it. I hope you're all having a wonderful, fantastic, awesome day today. Or are you hiding something else up there? Eh? Come on now. And I have nothing up my sleeve. I don't need to hide anything up there because I require no tricks or gimmicks. For you see, well, my magic, man, it's the real deal. Transformation time? Is this what you were hoping to see? Yep, that's it. Oh, there it is, the sky. Just as I thought. Well, that's right. I am the forgotten magician, banned into the dark understage of history. Oh, that was cool. The great Mr. Reyes. This is totally awesome. I mean, absurd. I think it's awesome, yeah. This is cool. Like I said, I like magic. How ironic, wouldn't you say? Well, that this odious mark carved into me by true gramarye would bring me back into the limelight once more. Strange are the comic threads before me. If the witness is the real Mr. Reyes, then who is the victim who perished in the magic show? Man, he was but a fan. Met him on one of my programs several years ago. He said he had become a magician out of admiration for the great Mr. Reyes. In confidence, I told him my true identity and let him take on my mantle. And when did this man take over for you? Well, about 2 years ago. I taught him my tricks, and I even acted as his producer. And so, a mere amateur became a popular magician overnight. Courtesy of my magic on the stage we call television. I hope you enjoyed the show. You really had us all fooled. Except me. Well, kind of. I had no idea that that guy was a fan, though. I could not have predicted that. Mr. Rettins, or should I say Mr. Reyes. In your hatred of true gramarye, you killed the victim, Mr. Mystery. And then set up Miss Wright to take the fall, didn't you? By the way, this music is amazing. You did it all just to tarnish the gramarye name. I have no idea what you're talking about, lad. I set up the prank. Well, that much is true. But it was simply a harmless joke on Trucy, I assure you. Yet she learned of the plan and made use of it to commit murder. That is how strongly the criminal element runs in the blood of this Gramarye's. Objection! But if it was a secret prank plan that very few people know about, couldn't you have been the one to use it for murder instead? Yikes! Eek! His head! Yeah, what? That's a cool trick. Heh, just kidding. What the heck was that? Heed my words, loyal lad, for I fear your grip on reality is slipping. I do believe I told you that my magic is real. It employs neither tricks nor gimmicks. Enough with the ambiguity. Why don't you make your point already? My alibi is as pristine as ever. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Sahdmadhi? Yes, I suppose that is correct. The witness does have a solid alibi. What? Recall, defense, that at the time of the magic show, Mr. Vettins was at Take-Two TV. A fact that many people can easily attest to. That's right, I forgot all about that. Ho. So, what do you think, Your Honor? Would you like me to, testify on the matter? Yes, I think you better. Would you please tell the court more about your alibi? Cool. Very well then, on with the show. Are you watching Magnify Comedy? Oh my gosh, that is an amazing picture right there. Holy cow, that is lit. Quite literally. Literally? Ah! Okay, I'll stop now. The time has suddenly come for my magic to stuff out your precious pedigree. The Comedy line will be no more. Witness testimony, my perfect alibi. I was at the TV station at the time of the Penrose performance. I was busy working on another TV program. I could spare no time for the magic show. Do ask my staff if you doubt my claim. And there it is, a simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth. Do you understand now, perhaps? I did not grace the theater with my presence until after the incident. So, how could I have committed the murder? His staff did say he was there at the station. So it sure does sound like a rock-solid alibi. But that could be right. If Mr. Vettins is the killer, he'd have to have been at the theater. There's gotta be a hole somewhere in his story. I assure you, there are no holes on Mr. Reyes' stage. No tricks, no gimmicks. True magic doesn't need trapdoors to escape through. Do enjoy my show to the fullest. In my real alibi. Cross-examination. My perfect alibi. I was at the TV station at the time of the Penrose performance. But you did come to the theater eventually, isn't that right? Indeed, anxious to see how the show was progressing, I made my way to the theater. Let's see, my journey took about 10 minutes by car. Could he actually have been at the theater during those 10 minutes, killing the victim? Allow me to stab at your reading your mind. Haha! Could I have been at the theater during those 10 minutes, killing the victim? Hey! I wonder. But no, I took a taxi. The driver can attest to that. Feel free to call the taxi company if my word does not satisfy you. The driver is a big fan of the Ritis Raja. I even gave him my card. You gave the driver his card? Well, that was very clever of him. It's almost like he planned it. You might as well give it up, lad. Questioning real magic is a fool's errand. Besides, you know very well what I was doing at the time of the incident. Yeah, killing the other guy. It's weird to say it like that. I was busy working on another TV program. I could spare no time for the magic show. Hold it. What was this other TV show you were working on? My own special project, you see. One moment. Perhaps it's more appropriate. It's a Rating Raja special protection, yeah. Hang loose, baby! It's called the Desperation Regeneration. He switched personas just to say that? What's the show about? It's washed up has-been singers and comedians, and they get together and they play musical chairs. The winner of the game is given a second chance at their career. It's a priceless prize for chumps who get washed up too early in life. Sounds great, right? Would you like to be a part of it because you sound pretty washed up yourself? Baby! Might I suggest you appear on that TV show, Mr. Justice? Hey, no, that was my line, Nayuta. How dare you steal my line? As the ex-lawyer, he used to make ridiculous bluffs at court and faded sadly into obscurity. And let the ratings manager produce my TV debut? Not in this lifetime. And you shush, FlightlessBird. Hey, what are you telling me to shush? Yeah, great reactions, who knows? TV might be too cutting. Exactly. Hey, whose side are you on? In any case, I was overseeing production of this program to the Penrose performance. Do ask my staff if you doubt my claim. Hold it. How do we know these staff members aren't in cahoots with you? I make it my business to perform solo. My magic has neither need nor want of assistance. After all, one of them could reveal the secrets behind my magic, could they not? So, he doesn't trust anybody, huh? He is a complete opposite of Trucy, yet he trusted that one fan who ended up dying. There were many people in the studio audience who saw the witness as well. Even if he had been able to persuade his own staff to cover for him, he could not have convinced so many complete strangers to do the same. Well, that's not true. There was another instance of this that had already happened where the fan pretended to be him and everyone bought that, right? He really has the backside of Alibi for himself. Yeah, it's almost too good, you know? It's eerie how perfect it is. Has all been revealed to you now. And there it is, the simple and perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks, just the truth. Hold it! I got it. Do you have a brother? A brother that looks exactly like you, maybe? Man, again with the twins business. You think the audience will let you get away with you using the same gimmick twice in a row? Yeah, I think that's part of the trick. You show us how the trick is done, so when you do it again, no one expects it. If you do not believe in defense, why not investigate for yourself? Though I am sure your efforts will prove to be thoroughly fruitless. Yeah, I guess the twin theory is a little far-fetched. Arg, his alibi really is airtight. I believe we've heard enough. Well, I believe the witness does indeed harbor some ill will against the defendant. There is no reason to doubt that he was at the TV station at the time of the incident. Yes, the facts prove it was impossible for the witness to have been involved with this crime. These last rites for the victim have dragged on long enough. The soul of the victim himself is so bored that it is resting on top of your honor's head. Oh, is Taka back? Aw, darn it, I thought Taka was back. It is? I love Taka. Best character in the game. The time has come. Let us punish the sinner and guide the victim's soul to the Twilight Realm. Apollo, Tracy will be thrown in prison and will be out of a job. But if you catch tasty fishies, will you sell me some at a good price? Wait, what? I'm sorry, the only fishies I know how to catch are Swedish fish. I told you, I have absolutely zero intention of going off on a turnabout. Think, Justice, you have to figure this out. It's no use. I can't find a single flaw, so what now? Behold, my never-ending magic show. Come for the awe-inspiring showmanship of the great Mr. Reyes. And stay for my good illusion until the end of time. Oh, the dots. Wait, is he saying that we're still trapped in some sort of illusion of his? That's what professional magicians do? They make the audience see something that isn't really there? In other words, you make us see illusions, right? We call it misdirection. While we keep you busy believing one thing, we're busy making something else happen. What we say is there really isn't. And what we say isn't there actually is. Could it be? You know what, Mr. Vettins? I guess we have all been spectators to the elaborate illusion you prepared for us. An illusion that has suddenly turned our attention towards something that you want us to see. Eh? What are you going on about, lad? Have you got something, Apollo? I just remembered something Tracy said about misdirection. What a mission says is there really isn't, and what they say isn't there actually is. If we've all been taken for a ride by Mr. Retton's magic, then maybe he's made us see something that wasn't really there. It's time to rethink all of my assumptions about this case. What have we been made to believe was there when it actually wasn't? What have we been taken to the absolute facts of the case? If I reevaluate the validity of all of these things, then just maybe. Athena. There's something uncanny about this case. So what hasn't been there? Just a couple thoughts ringing off my head. The guy who died. The wound may have been fake. Trucy freaks out. The stage comes collapsing down. And then Rettins kills him. Like, we don't have a time of death on this autopsy report, do we? Approximately 10:30, but I don't know what time that was. Like, I have no idea because there's no timer anywhere. So the 10 o'clock time doesn't help me. Possible blow was placed there after the fact. What if the body was slingshotted to the top of the stage? What if... Yeah, what if he was killed much later than we thought? I don't know. There's something uncanny about this case. Okay, what is it? Retton's alibi. It's too perfect. That's true. It's like it's impossible to break, no matter how hard we try. But maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's exactly what he wants us to think. I'm not following. We're not making any headway here because we've been so focused on breaking his alibi. Oh, I think I get it. You're saying he's using misdirection on us, right? It's definitely a possibility. Ahem, would the defense care to share with everyone was discussing over there? Your Honor, we believe that if we were to reconsider a certain assumption, we may finally arrive at the truth. In fact, I think we'll even finally see who's hiding behind the curtain, so to speak. And what is this certain assumption you're thinking of? This is the one key assumption we've been taking for granted this whole time. Roger Retton's guilt, the culprit was on scene, the crime scene. The culprit was on scene. The crime scene could be wrong too if he was killed in the rafters instead of on the ground. But then that's kind of like the same thing. And we assume Roger Rettins is guilty. And we're probably right about that, right? Could the guy still be alive? I mean, there was an autopsy report done. I'm gonna say the crime scene is wrong. He was killed somewhere else. The actual scene of the crime wasn't the theater, but the TV station. Okay, that went in a direction I wasn't expecting. Admit to residents brought the victim's body to the theater after the fact.
Objection.
Foolish lawyer. Were that true, then what about the body you witnessed during the show? Don't you know it's rude to ask how a trick is done, Prosecutor Sahdmadhi? That's what the hook is for, so that may have been like a dummy body. And then the hook was used to propel the body up away, and then the real corpse was placed afterwards. And don't you know it's rude to make far-fetched claims, Mr. Justice? Okay, I guess that wasn't it then. Hey, it was a good idea there. I'll brush up on your courtroom manners 101 again, just for you, Your Honor. Alright, so the murder could have only really taken place at the theater, which means... You see, this is the thing. I mean... I would really be hoodwinked if it wasn't Retton's. Like, I would be very, very much surprised. And I would love it if it wasn't Retton's. If Retton's was playing us. So that way the real guilty party could get free. Such as Bonnie or Betty. Most likely Bonnie, though. She seems too nice. If I had to pick one of these two. Culprit was on scene. What if the culprit was somewhere other than the theater at the time of the crime? What if there was a way to commit the murder without actually being there? If that were the case, then Mr. Wright's perfect alibi would become irrelevant.
Objection.
I think we're onto something here. I saw the save thing come up. How could one person stab another to death with a sword without physically being there? Furthermore, we all saw what appears to be the culprit's shadow in the footage. No, I think that's the body going up to the screen or going up to the upstage. Because he did have like a harness on. But couldn't we just as easily assume that the shadow does not belong to the culprit? Well, if it's not the culprit, then whose is it? I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track. We've all seen something that looks like this shadowy shape before, Your Honor. During the magic show itself. In that case, please point out in the show footage for us. This is the thing that looks suspiciously familiar to the shadowy figure of the culprit. Mr. Hat? I mean, it does look like... Okay, so we just saw that go up. Maybe that's what we're supposed to point at. Oh, so we got the complete footage there. I like the twirl. Twirl is cool. See, there it is right there. But I think if I point to the shadow, it's just going to say the same thing again. Well, let's try it.
Take that.
Mr. Justice, how does this even remotely resemble the shadowy figure? I thought it looked pretty similar. Do you not think so? No, not in the slightest. Huh? Well, that's funny. Hey, look pretty shady to me. Look shady to me. I like that one. That was good. And your logic is even shadier. Maybe we should try slowing down the video and taking a better look. Yeah, I could. Better look. Better look. Frame fast forward. I mean, the cape looks exactly like it, right? Because the cape is, the cape looks like the shadow.
Take that!
Okay, that wasn't it. Let's try again. Pause. Frame fast forward. She's in the frame here slightly. Am I going too fast? But I don't see anything. What's that? It's a weird close-up. That's Mr. Hat going up, right? That's Mr. Hat going up. This is the first shadow. But this does resemble the other shadow.
Take that!
I think we got it. I think we're onto it. Yeah, I think we're onto it. So, I chose the second shadow, thinking I had to show what the first shadow looked like, but I had it backwards in my brain. Does this shadow resemble a suspicious shadowy figure? Now that you mention it, does, doesn't it? Miss Wright, can you identify this shadow for the court? Let's see. I believe that's Mr. Hat's shadow. It's from when he was being pulled from the stage to the catwalk overhead by wire. Then, could the shadow that's shown later in the footage be Miss Hat too? No, that's not possible. After Mr. Hat was pulled up to the catwalk, he stayed up there. In other words, the second shadow is from some other figure being pulled up. Some other figure? I'm afraid you'll need to be more specific than that, Mr. Justice. Yeah, that's the other body, right? He's right, we've come this far. I'll just have to figure it out from the clues I have on hand. What is the second shadow shown in the footage? It's the, it's the second body. This, because he has a hook on the back of his... This is what I'm thinking, you know, somehow they got the hook on him and pulled him off stage. And that's why the dragon came down, so that way no one would notice. The dragon was a distraction to hide the body.
Take that!
If we consider what was happening on the stage at the time, there's only one answer. The shadow belonged to the fake Mr. Reyes. In other words, Mr. Man of Mystery. The victim? Please take a look at the plane script. Mr. Mystery was to pretend to be dead and then fly up into the air after that. Oh, was that really a thing? Mr. Ace will come back to life, laughing and flying up into the air. Yeah! Okay, that's what the hook was for, okay. Isn't that right, Mr. Rettins? Indeed, and what of it? I contend that's exactly what happened. The victim was wearing a stunt harness around his waist, yes. It was most likely attached to a stunt wire so that he could be pulled up into the air. So you're suggesting that after pretending to be dead in the coffin, the victim flew up in the air just as the plank script says? Exactly. We just couldn't see him go flying up because the dragon was blocking our view. Yep. And that last trick, ladies and gentlemen, is the true pièce de résistance of the culprit's murderous magic show. Pièce? Piece de résistance? Pied de résistance? I'm not French, sorry. Don't tell me, you've got it all figured out? Yeah, I think so. If we can just look beyond Mr. Vet's last bit of misdirection, we should finally be able to see the real truth. The victim must have been pulled up to the catwalk, just like Mr. Hat, and hit the cushioning up there with considerable force. I'll just have to figure out what else happened up there at the time. Are you ready to elaborate, Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready. On that case, please answer me this. Why did the culprit make the victim fly up into the air like that? To hide the behind the murder? I'm gonna say to hide the body. Maybe the culprit wanted to hide the body up in the catwalk. But that still doesn't explain how in the world the victim was actually killed. Well, let's see. Why in the world would the culprit want to hide the body anyway? Well, you see... You should have had it all figured out before you answered, you idiot! Foiled again. Only one badge left. Alright, hit me again, Your Honor. I swear I'll get it right this time. Why did the culprit make the victim fly up in the air like that? To murder him? Just why did the culprit have the victim fly up after he appeared in the coffin? And how did the victim actually die, when he was only pretending to be dead in the coffin? If we can figure out how those two questions relate, the answer should become clear. Could it be? I love how his thing is flowing over him. Mr. Mystery must have thought he was still just part of a plank when he appeared on stage. He probably didn't suspect a thing as he was being pulled into the air. After Miss Wright was called backstage, and just as the set piece fell. But the culprit had already planted the real murder weapon in a cushion in the catwalk. It was probably a knife or blade of some sort. What? You mean? Yes, it really was a magical murder. Just as a prick said, Mr. Mystery was whisked into the air. Whoa! And straight into a blade in the catwalk? Are you serious? Oh my god, that is brilliant! I love it! I love it so much. I love this case. Like I said, I like magic, and this is brilliant. Killed him without even needing to be there. In other words, this murder was committed remotely through the use of a magic trick. What? Remotely? Using this method wouldn't matter where Mr. Rettins was at the time of death. This is awesome. But how exactly does it work, Mr. Justice? Just before the murder occurred, the dragon set piece was up in the catwalk. It and Men of Mystery were connected to each other by a wire at the time. By carrying out the prank plan, Betty made the dragon piece set fall, which caused Mr. Mystery to rocket straight up and into the blade in the cushion. The cushion was high up enough to be hidden from the audience's view. That's why nobody saw the blade. Oh, that big gash in Mr. Hat's cape. The blade must have been set up overhead sometime before the magic show. Ah! Mr. Hat must have been slashed by it too when he was pulled up by the cushion. Ah! I can't believe it. I had no idea. I was told that Trissy would have freaked out if I made that set piece fall. That's the only reason I did it. You were used, Betty. Roger Vettins used you. I thought it was my little puppet to boss around, but it was the other way around. After the incident occurred, Mr. Vettins arrived at the theater. He got the murder weapon and swapped the rubber sword with the bloody seal one. That's also when he lowered the victim's body down to the stage. But how did he have time to do all that? When the set piece fell, the audience was evacuated from the building. He was able to do all those things after the fact because there was no one around to see. A horrific murder camouflaged by a spectacular magic show. Well, that sounds like the kind of murder only a magician could pull off. As long as the show proceeded as it was scripted, Mr. Mystery was doomed to die. That's why it was you, Mr. Vettins, who killed the victim all the way from the TV station. This prank plan, or should I say murder plan, proves your murderous intent. Oh? Enough! You dim-witted, ignorant, imbecilic, putrid red pepper. Hey, I don't like peppers either, okay? He can't possibly have a counter-argument to make. I have a counter-argument to make, Your Honor. My counter-argument is, what proof do we have that he did it? Do we have any concrete evidence that says he perpetrated the crime? Do we have any fingerprints? Do we have any DNA? Do we have any witnesses? We don't have any of that. We have a prank script and a good theory, but we don't have proof, and you need proof in a court. Let's see if he's going to bring that up. Talk about not knowing when to let it go and move on. Do you have a rebuttal or something, Prosecutor Sahdmadhi? No blade of any kind was found in the catwalk. Which means you have no evidence to support your theory. Okay, well, there he goes. But Mr. Vettins retreated after the fact. That's exactly what I was going to say. We don't have any evidence. We don't have any concrete evidence. Which still leaves you with no way to prove your wildly fantastic remote murder theory. Can't believe I'm siding with somebody here, but I kind of did say that? I mean, it makes sense to me. Like, we don't have any evidence. So, I mean, there's nothing we can do with that, right? But without proof, does it make more sense to believe that the murder was committed there on the stage? That's where the bloodstained sword was found, after all. That is a very good point. As the only person who could have committed the crime there on that stage, Trissy Wright remains the prime suspect. Crud. Arrgh! It would appear that what you call truth is nothing more than a cheap parlor trick. In the end, you have done nothing to prove the accused's innocence. It is time at last to let it go and move on. Arrgh! Oh! Are you seeing this, magnified Grand Marie? My magic is exacting punishment on your granddaughter. The Grand Marie name is done for! Apollo, we need to hit them with the decisive piece of evidence here. I know. That's just what I was thinking. Mr. Justice, do you or do you not have anything to prove that the witness committed this remote murder that you proposed? Of course I do, Honor. This entire incident was carried out exactly according to the script. Right, so theoretically, there should be no evidence for us to find or use. Which means our best bet is to see if something unscripted happened. It's gotta be something Rettins couldn't have foreseen. Once I find it, that's how I'll expose his murderous trick. Get ready, Mr. Rettins, because I'm about to reveal the secret to your magic. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, just some good old-fashioned logic. These scenes are cool. They're not as cool as the denouements of Rain Code or Danganronpa, but I still like these a lot better than just, oh, here's a piece of evidence and then the case ends, and then we have the breakout, you know? As long as the magic show went as scripted, the murder would happen without fail. Everything in this case would be carefully planned out so that no evidence could be left behind. Still, one thing happened that definitely wasn't in the plan. Which part of the magic show wasn't part of the show's original script? The original script, his death. No, Justice, that's not it. Of course there wasn't anything in the show script about the victim dying, but that's because death was only part of the culprit's master plan. But I had to figure out what else wasn't part of the culprit's plan. Oh. Okay. Bonnie's mistake, right? Yeah, because Bonnie made a mistake. And it seemed like an honest mistake. Bonnie made a mistake during Trucy's escape pit. What mistake did Bonnie make during the magic trick? Mr. Hat's poor life choices. That's so wrong. Oh my god. Miss Hat was placed in the wrong spot. Because Bonnie placed Mr. Hat to the right of the coffin instead of to the left, Trucy had to reappear on the side of the coffin opposite to the one in the show script. But the culprit didn't know that when he first arrived at the theater, which means he was bound to make a slip-up when he tampered with the crime scene. Which part of the culprit's cover-up attempt was affected by Trucy's new position? The blood? Kind of a guess on that one. More of an educated guess, but kind of a guess. Thinking Trucy had appeared on the left, the culprit must put blood in the left hole. But the blood was eventually discovered in the right hole during the police investigation. If the killer had originally put the blood on the left side, that means he must have tampered with the scene again afterwards to make it line up with the facts. To make the crime scene consistent with the facts, the culprit must have swapped the coffin sides. The culprit swapped the coffin sides. Like I said, I really like these scenes. They're really cool. That's right, the left and right panels of the coffin are interchangeable. The culprit must have switched the two panels to make the bloodstain fit the facts. But the switch must have also given rise to something unnatural. Oh, I remember now. There was something unnatural about the coffin, and it's just the evidence I need. Sorry, Mr. Rettins, but I have some very conclusive proof of your guilt. Another bluff, is it? Well, there's no way you have anything of the kind. My magic is real, no trick. Hey, I wasn't finished yet. No, there are tricks and gimmicks to it, just like any other illusion. What? After the murder, you switched the left and right panels of the coffin, didn't you? Gah! And because you did, you left behind something very unnatural for us to find. This proves that Roger Rettins tampered with the crime scene after the murder took place. Is it the fingerprints? Didn't we say there was something wrong with the fingerprints or something? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where? Yeah, it says here that Mr. Reyes' palm prints are reversed. So the fact that they're reversed means that someone switched them. Right, it's gotta be this.
Take that!
The fingerprinting results. I can't believe I remember that. I am shocked at myself right now. It's been a couple days. And I still remember, no, there was something wrong about that. I vividly remember. There was something wrong about the way he was standing. What about the fingerprints as a natural? Well, let's take a look at the prints the victim left inside the coffin, shall we? If the victim was facing forward in the coffin, his prints should look like this. However, what we found was they were facing the opposite direction. It's quite unnatural for the prints to be facing this way, wouldn't you agree? It is strange, isn't it? But how did they get this way? They got this way because the culprit thought the magic show had gone according to script. The culprit thought Mr. Hat would be on the left side of the coffin, and that Miss Wright would also pop up to the left side of the coffin as per the show script. He then assumed she had thrust the sword into the hole on the left side of the coffin. That's why he put blood in the left hole when he was trying to cover up the crime. But sometime after leaving the bloodstain, the culprit must have realized his mistake. He found out that, due to Bonnie's mistake, Mr. Hat was to the right of the coffin. And that despite the script, Miss Wright had thrust the sword into the hole on the right. In short, the hole with the blood in on it was the side opposite to the one that Trucy used. To make the blood's location fit the facts, he had to tamper with the evidence yet again. So he tried to cover his tracks by switching the coffin's left and right panels. Oh, and that's how the fingerprints in the coffin ended up backwards. Because the culprit switched the two side panels around, the prints ended up facing the opposite direction. But instead of going to all that trouble with the panels, why didn't the culprit just wipe the blood away and redo it on the other side? I'm afraid that wouldn't have worked, Your Honor, because of a little something called luminol testing. Right, that spray stuff. Luminol, it must be good. Luminol can detect trace amount of blood, even if it's wiped away, right? I saw this guy named FlightlessBird do this in a game called, Zero Time Dilemma, Virtue Last Reward, 999. It was one of the games. I think it was Virtue Last Reward, yeah. Yeah, that was it. It might have been more. If you like your FlightlessBird, don't forget that bird a like, thumbs up, and subscribe, because it's pretty dang awesome. Really like that bird. And I like Taka too. Taka was cool as well. It made it look like I wasn't so bald. Anyway. But that's right. Wiping the blood away would have only served as proof of his meddling. How about it, Mr. Reddens? I did a pretty good job figuring out your trick, didn't I?
Objection.
Trucy Wright could have done the same just as easily. You have no proof that there was this witness who tampered with the evidence. That is true, and I'm still wondering that. What is going to be our conclusive piece of evidence?
Objection.
Although I think we have plenty of evidence that Tracy didn't do it, even though she's still going to be guilty if we don't find the guilty party, which always drove me nuts about these games. But I do have proof. You do? What? A person who was in the magic show would never have made the mistake of putting the blood on the wrong side. Last of all, Miss Wright, who surely would have remembered she was on the other side. Oh my, you're absolutely right. Why, you impudent. I'm sure you realize by now, Dhurke Sahdmadhi, that your claim that Miss Wright is a culprit just doesn't hold up. You and your accused are. Really? I'm sorry, what are you saying? Miss Rana? Huh? What? Yeah, because I think you're the one with the ticket there for trying to convict an innocent girl. Holy cow, we just had a prosecutor breakdown. Okay, that's new. Oh, I'll take that every day of the week though. That was fun to watch. Can we watch that again and again? Just rewind, it's easy. Prosecutor Sahdmadhi, are you alright? As for the true culprit, he is someone who knew how the show was supposed to go but didn't actually see it. And someone who had the chance to tamper with the crime scene after the incident. And the only person who fits the bill is you, Roger Rettens. Maria! All the secrets to your tricks have been revealed. And with no tricks left, I'm afraid your show has been cancelled. Permanently. Nice. All of my secrets have been revealed, you say. Huh. Don't make me laugh, boy. Mine is the true real magic. There are no secrets to reveal. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, my true power, the great Mr. Deus. Is it gonna disappear? Witness a magic far greater than the true Germanese. Burn! Crumble! Fall to my furious flames. The great Mr. Deus will bring an end to you all. And now, for the final heir to the Germany name, right here, right now, you two. Shall burn! Huh? What? No, this isn't right. Huh? No, I didn't do anything wrong. No, it's not my fault. I'm not the one to blame. I'm the victim here. Ah! What? Stop, no! Curse you, Grandma! Oh, satisfying. Curse those Germanies. It's all because of them. Even now, they wound me. Curse them all to the abyss. I was expecting him to like disappear and like go away. Do you really hate us that much? Huh? Oh, Trucy. Does your hatred run that deep? Deep enough to kill an innocent man? Oh, listen to the music. You're dang right. You have no idea what humiliations I had to suffer. Your grandfather, Magnified Grimoire, kicked me out after I got hurt practicing my magic. He said I was too unskilled, that I would mess up on stage. He threw me out of the troupe just because he was worried about his own reputation. Since I was but a child, it was always my dream to become a great magician. But that Magnify, he took it off of me. But that's no excuse. That's no reason to do something so evil. Magic is supposed to make people happy, not used as a means for murder. What's the big deal? I just used what I had available to me, that's all. I get it now. That attitude toward magic is why my grandfather kicked you out. You don't deserve to call yourself a magician. Ugh. Don't deserve? I don't know about that. After all, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? If not for the lawyer over there, you would be on your way to prison as we speak. You're right. I did see through your tricks. You see, so in the end, Troop Grimoire was defeated by the great Mr. Deus. Yeah, you say that now, but you're cooked, buddy. You're not fit to lecture me from on high, Trucy Wright. You don't even deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive grave horn. Piffed. Take that, Grimity, you lose! If anyone needs to learn to, let it go and move on, it's this guy. This cord to my prison can both burn in the flames of my creation. Bailiff, take Mr. Rittens away. Bring a fire extinguisher just to be safe. That's a great line. That was awesome. And I like how he still held on to, I'm gonna get you all, like, attitude. When he broke down, he didn't just immediately go, yeah, I did it, and I'm deflated. No, he's like, burn. I like him. He was good. He was a good villain. It looks like we reached the end. Feel as though I've been watching a grand magic show. I was close, but we just mentally traded through somehow. By the way, Judge, you owe Trucy about $20 for admission. And then not guilty, of course. Huh? Why does Trucy look so down? Miss Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I'm about to announce my verdict. Could I see that wonderful smile of yours, that smile of a true entertainer, as you do? Aw, that was nice. Don't forget, entertainer always smiles. Yes, Your Honor. Aww. Now then, this court finds the defendant Trucy Wright. Swear, if anyone says objection, I'm gonna throw my gavel at you. Not guilty. Yay! Aww, look at her. Yeah! Court is adjourned. I'm gonna have a tough decision on a thumbnail for this episode now that I think about it. Because I don't think I've used any picture of Rettins. And my last picture was of Trucy. So normally I would show like the end screen where Trucy is like, you know, bobbing up and down with the confetti behind her. But I don't have any pictures of Rettins from this trial. And oh wait, I do. Picture 7. Yeah, picture 7 was a picture of Rettins. Do I do back-to-back pictures of Trucy, though? I don't know. I have to think about it. Maybe I do. I like Trucy. She's cool. And besides, I don't want to spoil the reveal in the thumbnail. That's something I don't like to do. I always try to avoid that. And showing him conjure up flames, as cool as that picture is, kind of does reveal that he's an actual magician. April 28th, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Thank you for everything, Polly. Oh, Trucy, grazie a Dio. Now you can open the show tomorrow, just as planned. Yup, and it's all thanks to you two. Oh, but now that Mr. Reyes is gone, I'll need to find somebody to replace him. Hey, Polly? Come on, say it. Say it. Say it. I like how Paul's like all the dots. Don't volunteer me. Don't say it. I don't like the way she's looking at me. Reminds me of I'm reading this book series called The Expeditionary Force. And whenever I don't want to spoil it, but there's a character who comes up with like crazy plans. Whenever he comes up with crazy plans that their crew doesn't like, he's always like, ha ha ha, you're really not gonna like this. That's how she reminds me of right now. Oh. Trucy, I'm so sorry about everything. Hey, what are you apologizing for? Roger Baines used us. We're victims too. You even made me an accomplice to murder. But Betty, we have to take some of the blame for this too, you know? Even if we didn't know he was planning to kill Mr. Mystery, we did cooperate with him. It's all my fault, isn't it? Neither one of you is to blame. The only one in the wrong is the person whose magic commit murder, Roger Rettins. Excuse me, Roger Rettins. Sorry, still recovering from my illness, and my throat's getting sore. Don't you think I know that? Say, what do you want? But don't think for a second that I don't still hate you. I guess she really does hate me. But Betty, why? You used to be a huge fan of Trucy's. Hey, shut up! I've always hated her. Really? But if we hadn't seen Trucy's magic show, we never would have tried to become professional magicians ourselves, right? Aww. Speak for yourself. But Betty, you still have her autograph. Hey! Shut up! Was she acting this way the whole time because she secretly loves Trucy? Aww. Aww. Wow, Trucy, I never knew that being the best could be so tough. Come on, Bonnie, we're leaving. We have to get ready for tomorrow's show. Hey, you're really excited about performing Trucy again, aren't you? By the way, is her name Bonnie and Clyde? Is that like the play on their names? That's not true. So zip it, dummy. Polly? Do you think I really am a naive greenhorn? Huh? No way. She's not. See, that's like a picture I would use for a thumbnail, but I think I'll probably use Tracy jumping up and down. I think that's a joyous picture. And besides, you know that she's not going to be found guilty, right? So it's not like that's a spoiler. Oh, you were completely taken in by my magic, were you not? Stop for that lawyer over there. You'll be on your way to prison as we speak. You're right. I didn't see through your tricks. You see, so in the end, Troupe Grandmarie was defeated by the great Mr. DS. Ho ho ho. You're not fit to lecture me from on high, Tussie White. You don't even deserve to call yourself a magician, you naive greenhorn. Trucy, don't tell me you're taking what Wright instead of heart. Well, maybe a little. I didn't see through his tricks, and I let myself be taken in by his magic. I can't trust myself anymore. Oh, look at that sad smile. Well, that kind of breaks my heart right there. Maybe it was right to call me a greenhorn. Dude, you're only like 17. Give yourself a break. You should take stock in his words. He doesn't even know the first thing about you. Huh? You're a wonderful Grandmarie magician. You should be proud of yourself. Thank you, Apollo. But what makes you say that? I know you're a wonderful Grandmarie magician because of this. Oh my god. Stage lift? No. The rubber sword? I mean, that was a very, very cool trick of her, spinning that around. Right? But it says specifically Grandmarie magician. So it's got to be something about Grandmarie. She's stuck up for a friend, it looks like. Eye bucket, fingerprints. I don't know. A true entertainer always keeps a smile, and the fact that she had a smile on her face the entire time means that she's a true Grandmarie magician. Yeah? Yeah? I mean, we haven't used this at all, right?
Take that!
Yes! Oh, thank goodness. I don't want to mess this up at the end. My grandfather's notebook? The Grandmarie Creed. A true entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. When you perform your magic trick in court today, you show the world your dedication to your troupe's creed. Even though, through all the jeering, you kept a smile on your face and won the crowd over. You are everything Magnified could have hoped for in an heir. You're a great magician, Tracy. A great magician? Me? You really are. That's why. You don't have to worry about what Renton said. Oh, Polly, thank you. Still, I couldn't have done it without you. I would have lost my nerve if I'd been all alone up there. But I was able to keep on smiling because of you. Me? I remembered what you said to me in the detention center. After all, you sure you swapped the swords, right? Yes, I remember doing it. Then I just know it wasn't your fault, Tracy. But how can you say that? We don't have any proof it wasn't me. I mean, I know you're a great lawyer, Polly, but... I believe in you, Tracy. And I believe in your skill as a professional magician. So I'm going to prove your innocence. Don't worry, you're going to be fine. Your words are what kept me going. Apollo. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now I can be everything I was meant to be. Trucy's real smile is the best. Yeah, it is. I'm so glad I could make that happen. Ima! Ima? I'm really sorry, Tussie, for everything. But why? Well, I wasn't able to convince Gyakuten Saiban what a good person you are. And I had to testify against you, too. You have nothing to apologize for. You were just doing your job. You're too kind. Oh, I don't know about... Huh? Is something wrong, Ima? Oh. Hi? Gyakuten Saiban, what are you doing here? Detective Sky. Yes. I require your forensic expertise in order to close this case. Come, let us go. Wait! Gyakuten Saiban! The trial is over, Mr. Justice. You and I are strangers once more, with no further need to interact. Strangers? Have you really forgotten all about me? What? What? Huh? All the dots. You really changed, Nayuta. Wait, how do you... Huh? Telling me to let it go and stuff. What happened to you? Oh, lawyer of impure soul. I have nothing to say to the likes of you. Are you serious, Nayuta? Now, if you'll excuse me. How? There he goes. What was all that about, Apollo? How do you know Gyakuten Saiban? Let's just say we're old acquaintances. And that never came up at all during the entire trial? How would that never have came up? Like, no one, like, he never said, oh, Samadhi, what's changed you? There was never, like, any internal dialogue or any recognition about any of that? I mean, that's like Final Fantasy VIII, where Irvin is suddenly like, oh yeah, I know what's going on here, but I've not said anything the entire game because reasons. Where did that come from? Acquaintances? It seemed like something more than that. Yeah, well, you don't like to talk about your past, do you? Because you always change the subject. I guess I'll have to talk about it someday. But for now, come on, let's forget about the past and celebrate Tussie's future. Sure, if you say so. Hey, it's Mr. Wright. Put him on speakerphone, Apollo. Beep. What's up, Mr. Wright? Apollo, how's Trissy? What happened at the trial? Did you get a not guilty verdict? Mr. Wright, slow down. Everything's fine. Hi, Daddy. I'm okay now. She was found not guilty in a very dramatic turnabout. Plus, we saved the office. It was a great victory for Apollo. Whew, that's a load off my mind. I can't thank you enough, Apollo. Now I know I can trust you to hold down the fort any time. Me? Really? Yes, you. You're a real full-fledged lawyer now in my eyes. A full-fledged lawyer? Still can't wrap my hand around it. Thank goodness you were there to take care of everything. And thank you, Apollo. I don't need to go that far, boss. Especially not in front of everyone. Oh, and by the way, I won't be able to make it to tomorrow's show, so I was hoping you could go. You'll do that for me, won't you? Of course! I wouldn't miss it for the world. Beep. Full-fledged. So, Daddy asked you to come to tomorrow's show, huh? As my assistant, right? Whoa, no, he just asked me to go cheer you on, that's all! Okay, then I'll be sure to save you the best seat in the house, Polly. The best seat in the house? I really appreciate the thought, but... Good, then it's settled. I would really like seeing a cutscene of the actual show. Are we gonna get that? April 29th, Penrose Theater stage.
Objection!
I should have known. That would make an awesome thumbnail too, but that's too good. That's something that should be saved. This is what she meant! I love Mr. Hat too. Magical girl Tracy Wright will now perform her greatest illusion yet. There are no tricks or gimmicks here, ladies and gentlemen. This is real magic. Wait a minute, you're kidding, right? There is a trick or gimmick, right? I'm too young to die! Now then, Mr. Hat, you know what to do with that sword. No, wait, stop. Ah! And that is how Trucy and Grammary Land ended on a rousing high note. With a big round of applause and Polly's ear-splitting screams. What kind of ending is that? Alright, well, we didn't get a CGI cutscene, but that was still awesome. That was great. That was amazing. The magical turnabout. Sweet. Alright, my friends. Well, my name is FlightlessBird. This is Story-Based Gaming Channel. Final thoughts before we wrap up today's episode. I love this case. The only problem I have with this case is I still don't think there was any conclusive evidence. Even if the blood was planted, even if the sides were changed, there is no specific proof pointing to Retins doing all of that. It's just a good theory, and there is proof that someone did change it, but there's no proof that he changed it. And I think that's the only thing that's really messing me up on this case, is I don't think, based on this story, we presented enough evidence to show that Retins was guilty. I think we showed enough evidence to show that Trucy was innocent. But then again, we usually do that halfway through the case normally, and the other half is trying to prove the other person's guilty. But I just that kind of does bother me. We didn't have any conclusive smoking guns, so to speak. We didn't have any fingerprints or blood DNA or eyewitnesses. It was all speculation, and yet for some reason, he's still the person that's being gone after for the murder in this case. Besides that, I love this case. I like Bonnie. I like Betty. I thought they were hilarious. I thought the twin idea was really cool. It's very old school magic, and I appreciate that. I like the second switch. The idea that it wasn't Retin, so it's killed. I'm sorry, it wasn't Reyes, so it was killed, but just a fan that he used for a couple of years in a long-term con to take down the Grammaries. That was cool. I like the manipulation there of Retins. Not only did he go after her, but he went after everything she owned by making her pay $3 million if she was found guilty. That was a really cool thing. That wasn't really hit on that much, but I still appreciate the fact that he was not just trying to get Grammary's legacy to die, but he was trying to punish her and her whole family, which is just wild. I really enjoyed everything with that. I thought this was a great case that was really well done. That once again put Trucy in the spotlight, which is great because I like Trucy. We also saw Emi again, which was great. Actually, I do have a second gripe with this case, but it's not about this case so much as about the ending of the case, which is once again, it tried to lay the groundwork for future cases by saying, surprise, the two know each other and used to be acquaintances, but I don't think that hit with the expectation that they were expecting. I thought that last second reveal wasn't good. It would have been nicer if when Apollo saw him for the first time, there was some inner dialogue that said, you know, not you, or not to you, Sahdmadhi, whatever. Sahdmadhi, what is he doing here? Well, I don't have time for this now, but why is he here? Or something like that. Just like some line at the beginning that's kind of a throwaway that makes you go, huh, that was weird. Why did he say that? And then at the end, you're like, oh yeah, I remember when he said that. Maybe that's what he was talking about. But just, I mean, when you get into a character's head and you become the character and you can see their internal monologue. When you don't see the internal monologue say something that makes sense about what's going on, it feels weird. Same thing happened with another game, Heavy Rain. I'm not going to spoil that, but the fact that we're in the characters' heads and we can see their inner monologue means we should know more than what the game is telling us about certain things, but the game doesn't tell us that to surprise us later when that didn't make any sense because we were in their heads. So why didn't we know this? I just feel that kind of takes away some of the impact of the case. Like, I was enjoying the case. Yeah, the fact that we couldn't really prove that was Ren's, yet it was still found guilty. Yeah, that kind of bothered me, but that last part at the end, I just felt was forced and didn't need to be there because the case itself was great. I love the comedy. I love the characters. I loved everything about this case. I thought it was wonderful. Ima trying to defend Trucy, but yet at the same time, trying to be a neutral party while doing her job, and then because she does the job too well, it causes complications. I mean, all that was just really, really well done. And I love this case. I mean, I like magic. So yeah, I love this case. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I would love to read them and respond to them. I will be back very soon with more Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, amazing, awesome day. So long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.